Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000 hopefully elect out there. Shalom to all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, The New Covenant was given to the Israelites and the sentence. And by the way, if you're wondering whether we're in the new covenant or not, we're in between let me put it to you this way, we're in between the old and the new covenant. Because if you come into this truth, it's humanly impossible in this society to keep every law and commandment. In other words, you might have a wife, she's on a period. You might be in a one-bedroom apartment. She can go sleep in the living room, but she contaminated the couch. Or she can't go in the kitchen. There has to be a separate house. So, if you can't afford that, who can afford another house just to house your wife or wives? Because the Lord says you can have more than one wife. Let's say 3 of your wives, you have 12 wives, 3 of them, they period come at the same time. And, you could put them all in the same one house or 3 different houses, or whatever the case may be. In other words, we can't keep the laws perfectly. We try our best to keep the laws. Now, if you break certain laws, the Most High is not going to put you to death, but there are laws in the old covenant laws, which is in the new covenant as well, that if you break this law, you commit this sin, the penalty is death. Adultery is a sin unto death. Yeah, I'll get into the subject, but I was going into this. I was going to do a subject on this. I put in top 10 U.S. cities with STDs, STIs, which is sexual transmitted infections. It used to be called diseases, right? And look at these cities. These are all chocolate cities. Jake is committing crazy adultery out there. And that's why you should stay. If you get with any woman, pretty much you want to go to the damn doctor. And who likes to voluntarily go to the hospital? Because they'll find some shit or they'll do some experiment. They'll hit you with a needle and they put the jump shot in you or whatever. So, we as Israelites, we do not like to go to the hospitals because we don't trust the hospital system. Just go back to the C ragamuffin. Because I got sick during that time, but I said, I ain't going to no damn doctor, because whatever sickness you got the cold, you got the C ragamuffin. And there's stories about that. And I have people that are close to me that, got deleted because they took the jump shots. So that's the last place you want to go to unless you're fucking carried in there on a stretcher, So if you're going to get with any Jake woman or any woman, period, really, before you have sexual relations with them, you're gonna have to get a check. You're gonna have to find out if she got diseases, and most likely she does. Now you can't tell her, look, baby, I don't know if you got a STD or STI. You got to go to the doctor. What do you think she's gonna say if she's with it? First of all, she's gonna get mad that I take care of my. Yeah, you take care of yourself. Okay, yeah, that says a whole lot. Let's say she goes, I understand, right, with these diseases, I will take it. So what is she going to tell you? She said, you got to take it too. So sometimes, what Paul said, it's better to not have a woman, period. He said, I wish you can be like me. And IUIC don't push that. They push you got to have a wife. Well, wait a minute. If Paul was happened to be in IUIC, you put pressure on him to get a wife. Most High put the spirit on him not to get a wife. So when I put this up, let me read this, and I'm going to go into my subject on the covenant. Here are the top 10 U.S. cities with the highest reported STDs or STIs, sexual transmitted transmitted infections. And don't tell me, well, that's the white man. He a liar. Nigga, I know how these hoes get down. Rates per 100,000 residents based on the most recent post-Movid data pulled from. Oh, when the C ragamuffin was going on, that's when people was really having sexual relations with other people because you stuck in the damn house. You say, I'm going out and do this. You go to your chick on the side. She's dealing with some nigga on the side because she's trying to get her bills paid for. Pulled from the CDC, surveillance, and inner body research analysis as reported in early 2024. Rank cities. STT rate per 100K. Philadelphia is number one. I'm surprised Houston is not on this board, but they said, let me see. I think I moved from it. But it said Houston is like they climbing up, you know. Philadelphia, PA, Memphis, Tennessee. Jake, this is all Jake. Jackson, Mississippi, Jake. New Orleans, Jake. St. Louis, Jake. Baton Rouge, LA, Louisiana. Montgomery, Jake. San Francisco, you got Jake, but you got Mose out there too. Detroit, Jake. Washington, D.C., definitely Jake. So you got to stay away from these Edomite women. You get with an Edomite woman, there's a chance you ain't going to get no, but she might tell you to go to the doctor. You know? Because they take care of themselves, man. You know, when I do my walk, I don't walk a trail, I walk a set course that I walk. But I used to walk trails too. And the only thing you see out there mostly is Edomite women that are in shape, that are walking, but they scantily dressed. They be noticing, I be looking at them. Edomite men don't look at them, you know. Let me not look at her, you know. I'll be looking at them. And then every once in a while they'll smile, they'll kind of wave. But that's why I say, you know, ain't nothing wrong with getting an Edomite woman as long as you don't marry her. And you don't want to marry nobody on this side any goddamn way. But these Edomite women, a certain segment, a large segment of them, they go to the gym, they get checkups, they're eating clean foods. You see them in Whole Foods. You ain't seeing the nigga woman in Whole Foods. Oh, what's the other place? Not Aldi's. Trader Joe's. You ain't gonna see a Jake woman at a farmer's market. These Edomite women and the Latin women are they're a little bit better than the Jake women in my opinion, but they eat garbage. Eat a lot of pork, shrimps. Woman, you want to impress a sister? Take her out to seafood and watch what the fuck she orders. These are nasty. And then you tell them that's not what my Bible says, or that's the Old Testament. They're hard-headed, man. They're hard-headed. Telling you, man, let some women built, Edomite women, not pasty though. I don't want no pink ones. I want some nice ones. You know, they got curves like the sisters. And let's see, you guys ain't gonna know about it. All right, and you got people like Captain Zarek talking about. He'll say it. The difference between us and the GMS is they get with white women. I said, brother, at least you're disease free. You know, because like I said, they eat, they exercise, they're in shape. They do checkups. They take their supplements. They eat the clean foods. They don't, Edomite women don't jump from man to man, except if you're certain Edomite women that like to break records. So, you got to know. And then, if you go to Europe, Now it's in America too, among the Edomite white, so-called white women, because a lot of them are Jake that look like Edomites. It happens in America all the time, but a lot of Edomite women deal with Jake men on the low, you know, and but if you go to Europe, certain areas in Europe, they crave Jake. They crave Jake, and the Jake woman is pissed off because why ain't they? Because we're tired of your loud mouth, your fucking attitude, the diseases you got. Who sung this? Was it Chris Brown? He said these women ain't loyal, these hoes ain't loyal. Was that was it Belle Biv DeVoe? I think it was Belle Biv DeVoe. They sing that girl is poison. And I remember when it came out, Ariel said, I love that song. They told the truth. I remember that. Anyway, so you see it. These are all what we call Chocolate City. I'm surprised Atlanta ain't up there. Like I said, I'm surprised that Houston ain't up there on this list. Geographic trend: cities in the southern U.S. dominates the list. Cities in the southern U.S. dominate the list, reflecting broader regional disparities in testing, access, healthcare, and social determinants. Types of infection include rankings are based on aggregate rates of chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, and HIV per 100,000 residents. Why rates remain high in these cities? Because there's adultery going around. And the cure for adultery is death. So anyway, I spoke on that. And then what I did was I got precepts together that I was going to go through, but I might do it in another video. But anyway, I want to deal with this. The covenant is only for the Israelites, period, or however, end the sentence. Okay, let me go here. Okay, this guy, this false prophet, this demon, prince of power, he's totally lost. And all he does, he gets on the other Israelite groups. He's kind of like a half Christian. He did a video yesterday. I was watching some of it, and it was a challenge. Matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me leave this here. And this blockhead, he's determined to get at least one. If you can get one Edomite in there, every Edomite can make it. He really doesn't understand the scriptures, and he thought he got captain, which he didn't. Okay, let me see. Let me do this. You know, now when we do our videos, we analyze a lot of things. Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Ratazah. If we have a class tonight, which we may have, myself and I believe Apostle Gabar and Bishop Manatazakbar, and maybe someone else, maybe a surprise guest, because we've been trying to do this for the last 3 weeks. 2 weeks, this is the third week, but we get finished what we're doing late, so we're going to attempt to do this tonight. So, you know, keep your eyes open on Apostle Gabar's main page that he does his lives on, which I'm going to give you the page. Give you the exact page, which I should know by heart. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. me a second. Okay. Sometimes you miss it. Let's come on back up. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, that's his channel. That he doesn't do lives on that, or maybe once in a while. Here it is, GMS Apostle Street Ministry. So the Most High with us, be with us. We'll do a video, and I was thinking about doing some prophetic breakdowns, doing like full breakdowns because we hadn't did that in a while. Anyway, let's anyway let me do this. Okay, let me see what this is. Oh no, yeah, this is Jake. She just come up to this dude. What's his name? Duke Dennis, and this Jake woman. She said she'll just and on camera in front of a whole lot of people. She said she'll, you know, as they say, slob his knob. That's old school. And these women had the last woman you want to deal with is a sister. You know, you get a woman that's an Israelite, she got to go get a checkup. You know, and men can know if they got anything without getting a checkup, but they need it. They got to get a checkup, and they got to get a checkup from the neck up. Okay, let me see what this is all about. Okay, let me just. Yeah, our people are out of order. That's why the Most High is going to take them out. Okay, let me go to the Prince. I call him the Prince of Darkness. Prince. He's a half a Christian. Prince of Power. Yeah, he started watching. You know, I don't have the full. These two blockheads. This is a video. GOCC, which are like, they're not even in the circle of Israel. They're just so far gone. GOCC issues $1,000 challenge. What kind of now $1,000 for one person is good. You can, I don't know, pay a lot of bills, pay your cell phone, whatever. Go do groceries, whatever. Put gas in your car, fix your brakes, whatever. It could be the whole rent or part of the rent, you know? It's nothing. $1,000 is like $100 back, 20 years ago. $100 is back in the 80s, and somebody gave you $100, a lot of money. $100 is nothing now. $1,000 challenge for ISUPK, IUIC, Wi-Fi, WOW, HOB, Sakari, etc. Now you notice he didn't mention GMS. Maybe these guys are afraid of us. No, this guy doesn't like me. He does not like me because I told him on the video. I said, "You are false, and you are a false prophet. You are a false prophet. Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai is not dealing with you. Period. You're just a commentator of what goes on in you know, the circles of the Israelite circles. But you're not a prophet. You're not a man of the Lord. I don't believe you're one of the elect. Because if you were, you would be teaching right." Okay, let me come back over here. So, Where am I going to start? Because I start from the beginning. Yeah, 17. Let's start from the beginning. And it's and you know what, Captain? He's a glutton for punishment, man. He likes going head to head with these Christians, and you know you're not going to turn these Christians to following being Israelites. It says in the scriptures, it said seared with a hot iron. It's embedded in their souls, so there's no hope for this guy. He's gonna be destroyed right here in America. He's gonna take the chip, and he's gonna be destroyed right here in America, unless he dies. He catches a heart attack or a stroke, or lightning bolt hit him. You know, or he get run over by a car, or whatever, or he get mauled by dogs. So let's go to the beginning. And this dude, Prince of Darkness, he's always taking the side of evil. And he watches my video, so he gonna get mad. He gonna come back. Yeah, Tahar said this about me, and Tahar said that about me.
Graham, Isaac, and Jacob. And his son Hamashiach, who some call Yahweh Shai Yeshua, Yehoshua.
See, that's confusion. The scriptures say that Yahweh is not the author of confusion. When you give a bunch of a laundry list of names, that's confusion. So you're basically saying you can pick any one day you can call him Yahushua, the next day you can. Let's hear it again. We're analyzing things right now.
All right, y'all. First and foremost, give all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his son Hamashiach, who some call Yahweh Shai.
Hamashiach, where you think he got that from? That's not how the small hacks. They say Hamashiach. So where you think he got that from? How to pronounce Mashiach? He got it from. I don't know if he started watching GMS, started watching IUIC. I don't know, but I almost guaranteed that he got into this thing. He was not a part of One West, original One West. He got into this thing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, by what the YouTube thing. He got on the YouTube thing, saw the Hebrew Israelite. Maybe the first video he saw was IUIC. Then he realized, oh, there's an ISUPK, there's a GMS, there's a this, there's a that. So let me just go ahead and make up my own thing. Let me take a little bit of GMS and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. That's why he threw all them names out there. I'm not going to throw a bunch of names. You can call them this or that or the other. No, his name is Yahweh and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. If you can't see, you got a problem with it, you know what I got to say to you? Kick rocks. Barefooted. Negro.
Yeshua, Yehoshua, Yashaya, Yahusha.
Hold up. Hey, Shalom, go ahead. What's up? Okay, no problem. If you got to take care of something. So the bar is coming with you. Anybody else? Hey, well, if he comes, I can introduce him to my dogs. Oh, of course. Because we're gonna try to do it, early enough. Well, you ain't gonna be on that fan for a long time. It's not like this guy's doing the floors. Yeah, what we'll do is hopefully we'll be able to do. I'm doing a video right now. That's all right. But I was saying later on I'm going to do a class. We're going to try to go through some breakdowns, man. Like the different solid breakdowns. Revelation, quoting them because people be asking, Yeah, well, let them know. Get in contact with them, and we'll go from there, All right. Hey, what's wrong with you? You got a cold? Hey, you got lemon juice in the house? Or lemon? Do some lemon juice. They have lemon juice, pure lemon juice in water. And if you got cayenne pepper, put that in there. I do that every morning. That shit, the cayenne is a kicker. You can do lemon and water, but if you got cayenne, I put All right, so call me, I'll expect your call about 12-ish. All right, shalom. Shalom. Anyway, that was the bishop, Menatazak, because we're going to get together. Like I said, I was talking about it. We've been trying to do this for this is the third week. So hopefully we'll get this thing out of the way where we can do this early. And we're going to do a class. We might go into some breakdowns. So, what was I saying? Anyway, let me just go ahead and let this play.
We mostly know as Jesus Christ.
See, why would you put that vibration out there? If you've been a Christian and from your childhood you grew up in a Christian family and they're always calling on Jesus this and Jesus that, and you come into Israel, the number one thing you're gonna throw in the garbage is Jesus. That's a topic right there. The first thing you do when you come into Israel, you got to throw Jesus in the garbage, and that'll be that could be a campaign. We can take pictures of white Jesus and throw it in the garbage or set it on fire, something like that. Now Esau turned around and say that's racism. I said no, we're burning this lie. We're burning lies, all right? But he pushes out Yeshua, and mostly known as Jesus. He's not going to make it. And he's going to take the chip too, because he likes to eat, as you can see. He likes to eat. So he'll miss a meal. I'm going to take the chip. Anyway, let me stop. Because I know he going to watch this. He going to get mad. He'll watch it. Just to see if I'm talking about him. Oh, anyway, I showed you the first video that was up last night. GOCZ is a joke. But this guy goes way back. He claims he met me, which I'm not denying it. Because he was he's younger than me. GOCC issues $1,000 challenge for ISUPK, IUIC, Wi-Fi, how, whatever, Hobe, Sakari, etc., Cornelius, Jew, or Greek. Because this guy, let me come back over here. Where am I watched some of it. I said I couldn't watch this madness, He believes that Cornelius is an actual Edomite. Cornelius is an Israelite. All right? Let's go ahead and play it.
Part 2 here. In this.
IUCBK Captain Tazariak stumbles answering Bro Dwayne's question. Part 2. I wouldn't give this guy the time of day. I don't talk to Christians. We don't discuss nothing. I said, if you want to come in and learn, you can come in and learn. I'm not here to discuss anything. I'm not here to debate with you. I don't want you around me. I don't want to breathe the same air that you breathe. Walk on down the street. Unless you're here to learn. Unless you're here to humble. First of all, you got to throw out the picture. You got to throw out Caesar Borgia. We might resurrect that picture. And when we talk to somebody, just to test them, throw the picture, the fake Jesus, and tell him to step on it. See what he does.
I was gonna be done with it, but I clipped it because it was funny, man. And again, it shows the techniques, it shows the methodology, it shows the extents one would go, and it shows that people know they wrong.
He's saying that Captain Tazariak knows he's wrong, so he believes that other nations can come up under the covenant. And like I said, he's a nobody. He's a pinche bug. He's a nobody. He's a nothing.
But this ain't about right or wrong for people, for some people. It's about winning the debate. It's about winning the argument. It's about how one looks. Now, here, Brother Dwayne is asking my brother, Captain Tazaria.
Now, how is this nigga your brother when he's not doing well? He does the will of you. He does the same thing that you do. You follow Jesus.
About Deuteronomy 29
Deuteronomy.
in verse, I want to say 10 and 11. Hold on, my people.
And I'm going to read it, and I'm going to show you that the stranger in that chapter, what is it, the 9th verse? That stranger, the strangers are Israelites, not other nations. What about the mixed multitude? The mixed multitude was in the wilderness too, but they got taken out. They got phased out. And even if they made it through the 40 years, they ain't gonna get the land. Remember, they had the matter of fact, let me go to that. Let me open up let me see. I'm sorry, let me go to this. I'll come back to this. Let me come back to this.
Yeah. Because Dwayne wants to state that the mixed multitude came out with Egypt. They also went under the covenant.
They were in the presence of Israel when the covenant was given to them. Ultimately, the covenant was for the Israelites because when because it was the mixed multitude, which was the other nations, they were the ones that were talking to Jake to get him to go back to Egypt. And then Jake was like, "Yeah, that makes sense. Let's go back to Egypt." Matter of fact, I gotta go into that. It's got to be Numbers 11. Numbers 11. Okay, let me just, you know what? Let me start from the first verse. The key point is further, well, it's right about here. It says, and these were the ones that, these other nations were the ones that said, let's go back to Egypt. It's better in Egypt. We in the wilderness, man. We ain't got nothing for us. Let's go back to Egypt. And Jake started following them. It says, and when the people complained, it displeased Yahweh when they were in the wilderness. And they had everything that they had except cable. And Yahweh heard it, and his anger was kindled, and the fire of Yahweh burnt among them and consumed them that were in the utmost parts of the camp. So you had Jake's in the back. They were murmuring. So the Most High was, it doesn't go into detail, but remember you had that the cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. That was a gigantic ship. So at the nighttime there was a light, so it lightened up the camp. And then in the daytime, they would turn that light off. So even at night, it was like daytime. And there was parts of the night where the light would go off because you can sleep and so forth. But it was one big ship. It said cloud, singular, right? Cloud. Matter of fact, I'll go into that. And that cloud was a ship. And what happened was, the Most High initiated the ship to shoot down lasers, because that's the fire. It said, anger was kindled, and the fire of Yahweh burnt among them. The fire is concentrated fire. The laws were written by concentrated fire and consumed them that were in the utmost parts of the camp, that was out there in the camp. And the people cried unto Moses, and when Moses prayed unto Yahweh, the fire was quenched. Let me show you that was Deuteronomy 33. Deuteronomy 33. Deuteronomy 33. I'll start from the top. And the key point is I'll start from the top. Keep it in context. Deuteronomy 33, verse 1. And this is the blessing wherewith Moses or Mashah, the man of the Most High, blessed the children of Israel before his death. And he said, Yahweh came from Sinai and rose up from Seir. Seir was north of the wilderness. Unto them he shined forth from Mount Paran, because the ship had a light, emanating from it. And he came with 10,000s of his saints, which are the Israelites. We are the saints. We are angels in bodies. You have other saints, which are angels in angelic bodies. When we go back when you die, you go back into your angel body. From his right hand went a fiery law for them. What does it mean by a fiery law? It was laser, and it wrote down the commandments, and those commandments were written perfectly. The law was written perfectly. Yeah, he loved the people. All his saints, which are Israelites, are in thy land, and they sat down at thy feet. Everyone shall receive of thy words. Mashah commanded us a law, even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. Who's the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob? Who's part of the congregation of Jacob? The Israelites. It goes on to say, and he was king in Jeshurun. Jeshurun is a Yashuan, which means the first. We were the least among the people, Deuteronomy 7, but we are the first of the people. That's why the Most High said he loved us. And he was king. Who was king? Mashah. In Yeshurun, when the heads of the people and the tribes of Israel were gathered together. So Moses was the king. He wasn't coronated, but he was a head. He was a head man. Let me look up the word king. Let's just simply say Malak. Malak. Even in Arabic, they'll say Malak or Malik. Malik. If they say prince, they say Shah. Simply king. So this proves to you that Moses was a king, even though he didn't have a crown on his head. The first king coronated was Saul. The second king was David. And he became the king. The number one king, it was David. To be or become king or queen, reign. Very simple. So let's come back to Numbers. I'm sorry, wait a minute. I'm sorry, let me come back over here. Okay. Come on back. Let me try something. I believe it's either Judges 12 or Judges 6, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I found it. Judges 12, verse 6. I'm sorry, let me come to the top. Right here. Jephthah and his successors. Now, Jephthah was a judge that his mother, matter of fact, let me do this. Jephthah, let me give you a little history so you can get it right and exact. Yapathach, a son of Gilead, Gilead, and a concubine, and the judge who defeated the Ammonites after the victory because of a vow taken before the battle. He sacrificed his daughter as a burnt offering. Jephthah, let me get more into it. Give me a second here. So we're kind of getting into a little bit of a history lesson. This is, I'm sorry. Okay, Judges. Okay, now Jephthah, the Gileadite, was a mighty man of valor, and he was the son of an harlot, and Gilead begat Jephthah. And Gilead's wife bare him sons, and his wife's son grew up, and they trust in Jephthah, and said unto him, Thou shalt not inherit in our father's house, for thou art the son of a strange woman. It said she was a concubine, right? Did I read that? It's a concubine. That's the definition. Concubine, hoe, whatever you want to call it. Somebody normally of another nation. And this guy was an Israelite. So that kills what Benjamin said about a half-breed. Well, I'm half-breed. Say, you losing it, bro. You straight up losing it. Talking about Elder Ben. I call him Elderly Ben. So Jephthah was not a he was not a foreigner. He was not of another nation. He was an Israelite. His mother was of another nation. She was a concubine. And he became judge. So now let me come back over here. I'm sorry, let's come back over here. Okay, this is what I wanted. Let me open this up. I'm sorry. And the men of Ephraim gathered themselves together and went northward, and said unto Jephthah, Wherefore passest thou over to fight against the children of Israel, and didst not call us to go with thee? We will burn thine house upon thee with fire, and the men of Ephraim. In other words, there was a war. Y'all didn't invite us to the war. What's up? Let me read that in the NLT. One thing about Jake, they like to fight. Then the people of Ephraim mobilized an army and crossed over the Jordan River to Zophon. They sent this message to Jephthah. Why didn't you call for us to help you fight against the Ammonites? We are going to burn down your house and you in it. Just come on back to the King James. So Ephraim was mad, right? This was when the time period of the judges. So Jephthah was pretty much a king, uncrowned. And Jephthah said unto them, I and my people were at great strife with the children of Ammon, or the sons of Ammon, and when I called you, ye delivered me not out of their hands. That's self-explanatory. And when I saw that ye delivered me not, I put my life in my hands and passed over against the sons of Ammon. And Yahweh delivered them unto my hand, wherefore thou, Jephthah was a man full of faith of the Most High, even though his mother was a heathen. Then are ye come up unto me this day to fight against me? You wouldn't help me now, and now you want to fight me? Then Jephthah gathered together all the men of Gilead and fought with the Ephraimites. The men of Gilead smote Ephraim because they said, ye Gileadites are fugitives of Ephraim. Ephraim was getting silly among the Ephraimites and among the Manassites. And the Gileadites took, these all Israelites, passage of Jordan before the Ephraimites. And it was so that when those Ephraimites which were escaped, said, let me go over, that the man of Gilead, or the men of Gilead, said unto him, art thou an Ephraimite? If he said, nay, then said they unto him, say now, Shibboleth. I'm going to read it in the Hebrew. And he said, Sibboleth, for he could not frame or pronounce it right. Then they took him and slew him at the passage of Jordan, and there fell at that time of the Ephraimites 40 and 2,000. Yes, so they said, no, I'm not an Ephraimite. And they said, say this word. And then they said they killed them. So Israel, the tribes had war with other tribes. They were gangbanging back then. Then said unto him, say now, because he said, no, I'm not an Ephraimite. Well, say this. So let's read it in the Hebrew. So there's certain words that certain tribes say different, pronounced differently. So the word here is Shabalath. Let's come on back. Shabalath. I'm not going to get. And they said Sabalath. So they pronounced it differently, right? Because they knew the Gileadites was getting at the Ephraimites. So they said, nah, I ain't no Ephraimite. Okay, say this. So you got that, right? So now, let's come over here to, what is it, Numbers. I didn't finish reading Numbers 11. Anyway, let me go back to Numbers 11. I'm a little all over the place. Numbers 11. So Jake was complaining with the other nations, and the Most High was burning them up. He was using the DUS system, the direct energy weapon system. And a mixed multitude fought first. That was among them fell a lusting, and the sons of Israel also wept again and said, "Who shall give us flesh to eat?" Yeah, because the heathen were complaining, and Israel was looking at the heathen, and they started complaining. It says, "We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, and the cucumbers, which was a prebiotic, and the melons." You got prebiotics and probiotics, which is good for the gut health, and fish, they had good fish, and the leeks, which is a prebiotic, I believe, and the onions, prebiotic, and the garlic, prebiotic. I do raw garlic every day. I do like 3 cloves of raw garlic every day, or almost every day. But now our souls is dried up. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes. And the manna was as coriander seed, and the color thereof as of the color of bedlam. And this manna had everything in it for your survival. But Jake said, "I want something different. You know, they give me burgers every day. Give me some pizza. Give me hot dogs or whatever." So, but what started that was these mixed multitudes. They were the ones that was whispering in Israel's ear, "Now we got to go back to Egypt. These motherfuckers are right." So anyway, let me come back over here. Okay, where are they? Okay, let's play it.
Captain Tazaria, which was crazy too, Captain Tazaria was saying that the mixed multitude was a mixture of women, children, and small boys.
No, the mixed multitude were other nations. How do we know that? I got to go back to the scriptures. You had the, let me see, Israelitish woman. Israelitish. Did I spell it right? I believe Israelitish. Let's get it spelled right. Okay, it's not gonna come up. Let me try this. Israel. It should come up. Let me try it this way. It just says Israelite. Give me a second, y'all. I don't need this. The Israelitish woman and her son. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Leviticus 24:10. There's lessons within lessons, so I'm kind of going in different directions here. The hell did I just do? Bear with me for a minute, y'all. All right. We don't need this no more, anymore. just went to, damn. Okay, and the son of an Israelitish woman whose father was an Egyptian. That shows you that there was other nations in the wilderness. So if Captain Zariak said that, he was going off. Went out among the sons of Israel, and this son of the Israelitish woman, her father was a Danite. It tells you that in the scriptures, right here. The daughter of the bride of the tribe of Dan. So she fell in love with an Egyptian Mizra. What is that? What's his son's name? Mizraim. I'm sorry, Mizraim. They would not call themselves Egyptians. That came along when the Greeks came and named them. It's a Greek word. And the son of the Israelite woman, whose father was an Egyptian, went out among the sons of Israel, and this son of the Israelitish woman and a man of Israel strove together in the camp. And the Israelitish woman's son blasphemed the name of Yahweh. That shows you that the spirit wasn't with this heathen. And guess what? The spirit of the Most High was not with the mixed multitude, which were other nations. And to show you that the Most High didn't give a damn about the other nations, he gave an order to Israel to go and smite their men, women, and their children. Don't marry them. Don't take their sons to your daughters. Don't give your daughters to their sons, or they'll lead you away from the truth, the law. So the mixed multitude were non-Israelites.
That were all Israelites. That's what's the mixed multitude.
No, they were not all Israelites. You had other nations that tagged along.
The mixed multitude, there were men that came out of Israel, and then the mixed multitude were the mixture of, women, children, etc.
If Captain Zariak's teaching that, he's clearly going off. I just gave you an example. The Israelitish woman's son, which was a son of an Egyptian.
But they wasn't foreigners. And so Dwayne goes to the Deuteronomy 29. I'm going to read it for y'all real quick. It says, ye stand this day, 2019, ye stand this day, all of you before the Lord your God, your captains of your tribes, your elders, your officers, with all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger. And even thy stranger is written in a possession. It's your stranger and thy stranger.
So possession means you're going to get part of the land. Not one nation is going to get part of the land. Ultimately, that's talking about, and I'll go into it, Israelites, they were in the wilderness, right? When they got the promised land, did not you have strangers among Israel? Yes. What qualified them to be strangers? Which I'll look it up. Gar. That's where you get the word Gershom, Gar, as opposed to Nakar. Those were Israelites that were living outside of Palestine, or that area, the Levant, Lebanon. Lebanon is part of Promised Land too. And they were living, let's say, somewhere among the Greeks. They come for High Holy Day. They decide to stay in Israel. So what happens is in the law, they give you a plot of land. What tribe you from? I'm from the tribe of Manasseh. They go to the land of where Manasseh dwelt. Then they give you a plot of land. That's what it's talking about. And when you go to Isaiah 14:1, and it says, the stranger shall cleave unto thee, that's talking about Israelites. It's not, the 7 used to say that's talking about other nations. So when you look that word up, it goes into, I believe it's in Ezekiel 40 something. I'll probably go into it. If not, somebody put it in the chat. That these strangers got, if they wanted to track of land, they got it. Those were not other nations. Those were Israelites. The strangers in Deuteronomy 29 are Israelites. It has nothing to do with strangers. This is why I don't talk. That's why I do not debate. I do not discuss. If you're a Christian and you're a sincere Christian and you want to learn, don't give me none of that. Unless you're asking me, well, we were taught this. What do you got to say? You know, you can see whether the man is sincere. He's not sincere. He's got straight up demons on him. And he got straight up demons on him.
That is in thy camp, from the hewer of the wood to the drawer of thy water, that thou shouldest enter.
What is it? Well, hold on. Wait, slow down, partner. What does it mean from the hewer of thy wood to the drawer? Let me hit you hear that again.
Stranger, and thy stranger, that is in thy camp, from the hewer of the wood to the drawer of thy water.
What does that mean? From the hewer of the wood to the drawer of thy water. It's talking about slaves. So those strangers were slaves that came up under Israel. They followed Israel, so they, and you had Israelites in different positions in Egypt that had servants. It could have been Canaanites or whatever. So let me go to Deuteronomy 29. I'm going to take this word out. Give me a second here. Okay, hewer of wood. Let me do this. Hewer of wood. It means to make somebody a slave. We don't need this anymore. Hewers, I believe it's hewers of wood and drawers of water. That's slavery. Hewers of wood. Joshua 9 verse 20. And the prince said unto them, let them live, but let them be hewers of wood and drawers of water unto all the congregation, which are the Israelites. In other words, we're gonna rent you out. Okay, this family gets it for a week. Okay, get this, chop these 3 down, do this. We had slaves in Egypt, which are of the other nations. You didn't slave your people. They were servants among Israel, but they were not slaves. Well, you had them out there in the field. Hewers of wood and drawers of waters unto all the congregation, the Israelites, as the princes had promised them. Because these guys lied. They were Canaanites that escaped from the onslaught of the Israelites. And they said, let's lie and let's say, oh, we're not from Canaan. We from, we outside Canaan. So they believed it. So they didn't put him to death, because the Most High put him to death. When you read the whole account, which I'm not going to read, I don't got to read it. But they said, okay, we thought you were from outside of the land of Canaan, and you came and you know what's going on, but we found out that you were lying. But since we made a vow that we're not going to kill you, we're gonna make you slaves. We're gonna make you slaves. So you had Israelites, and we were dominating shit. The mixed multitude, we were bullying them. We were over them. They would tag us along. So we said, let's put these niggas in slavery. You know how Jay get down. Let's put him in slavery. And Esau, the main reason why Esau, the scholars and the Christians come up against us, because We talking about them going into captivity. That's why vocab says, well, the Edomites are done away with. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, right. And you guys say, no, man, the Most High ain't with slavery. It's all throughout the scriptures. He that leadeth from the captivity. Well, that's not talking about that. That's being captive under Satan. This is why we don't. This is why I said when you deal with vocab, call the cops on him, because he's coming with the same two fucking points. You know, coming with them straw man arguments. He doesn't want to get into. He said, "Well, show me in the scriptures. Well, you're gonna put us. It's very easy. Where you want me to start? Where you want me to start cutting?" So, anyway, matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Hewers of wood and drawers of water means you're a slave. You're not just gonna hew wood and draw water. You're gonna do whatever they tell you to build this house, knock this house down. Go run and grab that goat. Run and get that goat for me. Or cook the goat, or whatever the case may be. Where let me see something. Where is it? Okay, let me do this. Okay, let's see what they say it means. Comments. Hewers of wood and drawers of waters, right? What does it mean? Hewers of wood and drawers of water, trees, stay, con, whatever, blah, blah, whatever that is, some German or whatever. They were devoted to the sanctuary called at a later period Neth and Nims. I was bound, that's slavery, to discharge menial duties, which is slavery, which usually devolved upon the lowest classes. The lowest classes were who? The other nations. These two guys that lied that were Canaanites said that no, we're not Canaanites. We wasn't in the land of Canaan. They said, okay, so we're not gonna kill you, but then they found out that they lied. They said, well, we made a vow, we're not going to kill you, but we're going to put you into slavery. That's what it means. It says, Deuteronomy 28:29. Wow, they give me, that's exactly where I want to cut. Ooh, this is a cut. This is a cut. That shows you who the strangers are. The strangers are the other nation that we put into slavery. Deuteronomy, you stand this day, all of you, before Yahweh and your power, your captains of your tribes and elders and your officers with all the men of Israel. Now you got to open it up, which I'm not going to open it up. I'll get to it in a little bit. Ye stand this day, all of you, before Yahweh, your power, your captains of your tribes, which are Israelites, your elders, which are Israelites, and your officers, which are Israelites, with all the men of Israel, your little ones and your wives, and thy strangers that is in thy camp. Who's the strangers that's in the camp? The mixed multitude, the other nations. From the strangers that is in the camp, from the hewers of thy wood unto the drawers of thy water. Why would the Israelite put another? I'm going to put you from the tribe of Judah, you from the tribe of Gad, and put you. No, that didn't happen. The strangers were the servants under us, which were the mixed multitude. We put a lot of them into slavery. The hewer of wood and drawers of water. That means slavery. It says it right here. You do menial tasks. Compare also 1 Chronicles 9:2. Let's see what that says. Now the first inhabitants that dwelt in their possession in the cities where the Israelites, the priests, Levites, and the Nethinims. I got to open this up. Give me a second, y'all. See, now we got to go deep. We got to do a deep dive into this thing now. Well, let me see. Let me come over here. Okay, let me do this. Okay, so all Israel reckoned by genie. I'm sorry, but give me a second. I'm sorry. I just want to get the right verse 2. I'm sorry. So all Israels were reckoned by genealogy, and behold, they were written in the book of the kings of Yasha'ala and Yahawadiah, who were carried away to Babylon for their transgressions. Now the first inhabitants that dwelt in their possessions and their cities were the Israelites, the priests, the Levites, and the Nethinims. Let me look up the word Nethinim. We read this word, but let me go into it again. That's why you got to go to these words, the roots of the word. Nethinims. Nethinims were temple slaves assigned to the Levites and priests for service in the sanctuary. So when you go, matter of fact, let me do this. Nethinims. Nethinims mean slaves. They did menial tasks. Bondmen, right? Nethinims given to the blah 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 Hebrews, or the bondsmen, which were slaves of the temple who attended on the Levites. Levites in their sacred services. So we don't got to read no more. So those strangers represent the slaves. But however, if you go, let me go ahead and read this. And we took their land and gave it for an inheritance unto the Reubenites and unto the Gadites and to the half tribe of Manasseh. Keep therefore the words of this covenant and do them. Let that ye may possess in all that ye do. Ye stand this day, all of you, before the Lord Yahweh, the Most High, your captains and your tribes and your elders and your officers, with all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger or strangers, you can put it in there, that is in thy camp, from the hewer of the wood unto the drawer of the water. I read to you in Joshua 9. It was two. I believe it was two of them that lied, and they said, "Well, we made an oath. We wasn't going to kill you, but we're gonna make you hewers of wood and drawers of water." When you go to Judges, matter of fact, yeah, when you go to Judges 5:12, let me go to that. Judges 5 and verse 12, if not verse 11, verse 12. I hadn't gone to that in a long time. Okay, it's 11. I was right. Speak ye that ride on white asses, ye that sit in judgment and walk by the way. We're Israelites. They that are delivered from the noise of archers. Now, this is a prophecy. The archers represent the silos from the missiles are shot from. An archer shoots a arrow. The modern day arrow are the missiles. In the places of drawing water. Where's the place of drawing water? Here in America, when they put us in slavery. Had us chopping down trees, picking cotton, drawing wood, cooking food, taking care of the little Edomite babies, the mammies. You got to pay for that. There shall they rehearse. When you look that word up, the word goes into the word recount. So we keep the Passover to the best of our ability, the Sabbath. We keep the laws to the best of our ability. That's the way you're supposed to teach about the laws. You got to keep Nope. Keep the law to the best of your ability. Strive to keep in the law. There's certain laws you got to keep off the rip, and that's adultery, because that's death. The righteous acts of Yahweh, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages, because we're not in our villages. In Israel, meaning keep the laws like you did back then shall the people of Yahweh go down to the gates. So the delivery part is getting ready to come. The archers are talking about the missiles. So let's come back here.
That thou shouldest enter into this covenant with the Lord thy God and into this oath. All right.
Now, so you might put in, well, the Edomites can make it, the other nations. They're thinking about Edomites. When they think about getting another nation in there outside of Israel, they're not thinking about poor, starving African kids. They ain't thinking about Moabites. They ain't thinking about Arabs. They're thinking about Edomites, so-called white people. That's what these niggas do. They fight. They're apologists. They're caping for Esau. They're caping. That's another topic. They're caping for Esau. He's not concerned about an Arab finding Jesus. He wouldn't even talk to an Arab, a Muslim. He's concerned only about he can go to Esau can go in the kingdom, but for him, he'll open the door to the kingdom to let an Edomite in. So this is why you don't debate. But he's young. He's still young in the spirit, man. I wouldn't waste my time. Because I know at the end of the day, none of these Christians are going to say, these devout Christians, you guys are right. They're not going to say that. They're not going to say that. They're not going to say that. So I don't even want to deal with them. I'll call the cops on them. I say, you're disrupting our meeting. You're a Christian. You found God. Then go vaya con Dios. That means go with God. Or go with your God.
And so Dwayne is asking, who's that stranger there? That's at that moment right there. Who is that stranger? Let me let this thing play.
Captain Tazariak Glazers, hear this, what's coming up. Pay attention. Pay attention to what this man has to do for his doctrine to be true. Just listen to this and be honest with yourself.
We can treat minor sprains, chest pains, even smart little brains. But
and your wives and your strangers. Who are those strangers?
So now you wanted to start at verse 5. What verse is?
The strangers can mean, based upon the word. Let's do this. Let me show you something. Deuteronomy 20, was that 29? Deuteronomy 29. I'm going to go back to this. Matter of fact, I think I have it right here. Okay, Deuteronomy 29. I'm going to look up the word strangers. Where is it? Right, your little ones and thy strangers. Now the word right here for stranger is gar, which means another Israelite. A stranger, gar. Let's look up the word gar. Sojourner, meaning an Israelite that travels through the land. He's considered a stranger until he says, I want to live in the land, and they give him a plot of land. A temporary inhabitant. Like you have the Israelites from Alexandria, they would come to the Passover in big numbers. And they would be out there for a month or whatever the case may be. For them high holy days, they'll overstay. And then they'll go back to back into Egypt, in Alexandria, the big community of Jake. Now, some of them might have said, you know what, I want to live in Israel. I want to die in Israel. I don't want to be in Egypt no more. Then they would go to the heads of Israel. They said, I want to stay here. Okay, you Israelite? Yes, you an Israelite. Boom. We're going to give you this plot. You find out what tribe you're from. You're from the tribe of Judah. Okay, you're a southern kingdom. We're going to give you the plot of land, and that's yours. This is your land now. We was always given that. It says a temporary inhabitant, a newcomer lacking inherited rights. Lacking inherited rights meaning you have no land until you put in an application to get a land because you want to stay there. Hey, there was this guy, Paulie Malignaggi. He said he's going to get back into bare knuckle fightings, and he said the reason is to make money because I want to go back to Sicily. I want to go back and I want to live in Sicily. I don't want to live in America no more. And I want to die in Sicily. So that shows you that he's an Israelite. He is shit talking Israelite. And so he's saying, I want to go, I'm getting up in age. I want to die. I want to get old in Sicily. So guess what? That's what Israel did. They said, I'm up in age. I don't want to die in the Greek country. I don't want to die in Egypt. I want to die in Israel. So they put an application to get the land. They find out what tribe you are from, and they give you a plot of land. Very simple. It says of foreigners in Israel. Right. Israelites that live outside of Palestine, though conceded rights. So they got to get there, and lacking inherited rights, they're going to receive rights. This is talking about Israelites. So the actual term in Deuteronomy 29, which says stranger, is actually talking about Israelites. But it can go deeper. It can talk about the other nations. But the actual word God is talking about Israelites. That's why it says, how can you explain this, Christian? It's in Exodus 12. Okay, in Exodus 12, Exodus 12 and 19, 7 days, 11, congregation, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. Strangers talking about an Israelite. Born outside the land. 48th verse. And when a stranger shall sojourn with thee and will keep the Passover, the Lord let all his males be circumcised. These are Israelites that was born outside the land that might have didn't circumcise their children. So they said, okay, you got to circumcise your children, and we're going to give you some land, and you got to be circumcised if you're in the land. And the covenant of circumcision was given to all the nations that's in your household. If you have servants, Abraham's servants, which were other nations, had to get circumcised. That doesn't mean they're under the new covenant. It says one law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you. These are Israelites. Now, let me do this. Let's read this again. 7 days shall there be no leaven in your house. Eating the leaven, even the soul, shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger, an Israelite, or born in the land. Both of them are Israelites. Now let me see something. Bear me for a minute. Stranger is there 4 times. The first time in the 19th verse is talking about an Israelite. Dwayne. Now it says here, 19th verse said you can partake of the Passover, right? It says here in the 43rd verse, and Yahweh said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof. But wait a minute. 19th verse says you can eat as long as you get circumcised. So when you look at the 19th verse, the word there is God. When you look at this verse, what is it, the 43rd verse? 43rd verse, the same word stranger, that's why you got to go into the root of the word. I guarantee you the word is not gar. The word is nakar. But is Dwayne going to see that? No, he's not going to see it. Because his conscience has been seared with a hot iron. Nakar, 2 different words. Nakar means a person of another nation. Let's listen to a little bit more. I can even close it, man. And then the new, let's say they got the old covenant. They didn't get the old covenant. Let's say they got it. Where in the scriptures does it say that the heathen, as well as the Israelites, going to get the new covenant? It's nowhere in the scriptures. You can read Hebrews 8 from the first verse to the last verse. It mentions nothing about of another nation being under the new covenant. So stop it.
Started that?
Why you just answer the question?
Now the way
this blockhead is laughing because he's lost. He's lost.
Answer. He's like Dwayne. Like, man, just answer the question, man. Who's the stranger?
Because he believes that there's people outside Israel like can come under the new covenant.
What you talking about? Verse 5. Yeah, like, who's the strangers in verse 12? Verse 11. Who's the stranger?
Listen, who is those strangers?
I am going to answer the question. I'm just going to answer it with scripture. You started at verse. What verse did you start at? Verse who?
Verse 9.
So now, and this is to prove what? What is this to prove?
I'm just asking the question right now.
But what is it to prove?
I'm just asking the question right now.
I'm just asking you, what is it to
I
prove?
ain't prove nothing yet. I want to answer the question.
You see, this goes nowhere. What is it to prove? Well, I'll just answer the question. This is a back and forth. This is going nowhere. This is going nowhere. Nobody's getting edified from this.
And you asking me this question because?
I just want.
And he's busy caping for Edomites. Like I said, he can care less about it. Is this nigga saying anything about? Have any Christian said, let's pray for the people of Gaza? Any real Christian? Vocab ain't over there bringing bread to the people in Gaza. It hurts me to the heart to see what's going on in Gaza, even though they're not my people. But some of them are Israel, and this man is getting ready to pay dearly. He's getting ready to pay dearly.
Yeah, what is lollygagging and trying to buy some time? and want to take this thing somewhere else. Oh no, y'all. All the question.
This dude's a big head jackass, man. This guy's a real jackass.
Was who is this stranger? Who is this stranger in verse 11? I think verse 11.
If you go to the actual root word of the word stranger, the word there is gar, which has to be an Israelite. If it said in the car, that would have to be the mixed multitude. Okay, let me read this. Let me read this one. But this is the promo Dwayne wants to see on the internet to further fuel his ambitions, debunking Israel. This is another one. There was only two. It says 4. That's impossible. Mentally is bad. I had a conversation with one brother about Ezekiel 47. He claimed that Gentiles were property according to law, so they can own land. I took him to Leviticus 25:47 and asked him if the sojourner was a property, and he said it couldn't be someone of another nation. It's like damn, the stranger can't, you gotta learn the fucking grammar, can't even be rich among Israel. Not in the kingdom, they're not gonna be rich. And he doesn't understand. If you go to Ezekiel 47, it's talking about Israelite putting a claim in to be in the land. Okay? That's it. So they don't know. Anyway, the disgusting book in the French president's portrait. And this verses. Let me just see what's going on. Why Trump changed his mind on pardoning Diddy. Faison loves charges. Trump, they were children of fools, yea, children of base men. Only the very elect will understand. Is this really Nazi propaganda or just drama? Captain Zazariak live Christian Sunday service against God, who will hold on to the faith of the Most High, Yahweh Shai. This simple shift makes average guys outperform high-value men. Just seeing what's going on, y'all. Stick with me. Prepper movie critique, 28 years later. I was trying to get that on Amazon, and they charging me. I don't be paying for movies. Touching grass and grounding is bullshit. Yeah, Shannon Sharp, they raking them through the coals. But that's what you get with a white woman. What if he did it to a sister and they did the same thing? Because they do that shit too. What's your excuse now? It's a woman. These women becoming multi-millionaires, OnlyFans, and women is about money. They'll play you for 2 years and they'll get you. Oh, he smacked me and he raped me 5 times. But if you get a pro, that's against the law and they can lock you up. If you get a pro in New York and you're driving in New Jersey, that's a federal charge. But you can go to the ramrod, right? All you want. You can be a happy individual. That's what the missiles can't come quick enough. China forces U.S. chip guarantee. BRICS rejects U.S. order. U.S. jobs collapse begins. Yeah, this guy Trump. Y'all got to get him out of here, man, because he's destroying the country. He's destroying the country. Yeah, what was this last month's job? What does he call it? Job. You call it job ratings or whatever the hell you call it. It was only 73,000, which that's low. That's low. Let me ask a question. I'm getting ready to close. Let me ask a question. Okay, I was going through adultery. This is a good site to have, openbible.info topics/adultery. Give you all a whole bunch of precepts. What else was I going to do? The job market. Oh, my question is, did the U.S. tariffs kick in yet? Tariff, not terrorists. Tariffs. Did I spell it right? T-A. Multiple rounds of tariffs implemented by the U.S. under the current administration, Trump administration, and are now in effect, impacting a variety of goods and countries. Prices will go up dramatically, y'all. He went somewhere, it was a football game somewhere, and they booed, the whole audience booed him. Trump just revealed his new tariff plan. Here's what you need to know. Trump tariffs inject more uncertainty into global economy. Right, it's going to affect everybody. Prices are going to go up. What consumers can expect from import tax, which is a tariff, as the U.S. sets new tariff rates, I can already tell you, prices are going to go up dramatically. You used to buying something for $20, it's going to probably cost you $25 or more. Market slump on tariffs and job data as Trump fires labor bureau statistic chief. I think this was a woman, because she said something. The fuck did she say? Market slumps on tariffs and jobs data. Blah, 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 blah. Right, July jobs report for July has ended. Scroll through the post below to read about today's development. Yeah, it was called a job report. Job report for July. They always give it to you the following month. Was 73,000 jobs were created, which is low, which is record low. This guy is really a hot mess. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom on to the next shalom.